you're a man and you don't like when women say, oh my God, I hate men, watch this video. A woman says, I hate men. That means because she's largely had negative experiences with men. But it's not all men. I know, but it's a lot. And the sentiment underlying that is we don't know which men are safe. So if you become reactive, you start yelling at us about how it's not all men and some men are good. Show us. Show us.
The majority of the experiences that I've had with African Americans have been negative. And because of that, I don't know which black folks are safe. And so I say, I hate all black folks. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? It sounds ridiculous. So, I try to use that as an example. What you guys will say, well, you'll say, well, that's different because that's racism. So it's different. That's racism. That's something different. Yeah, and this is sexism, right? It's still generalizations that are not helpful and are discriminatory. But you'll say, yeah, but when you say it about black people, you're not taking in consideration systemic oppression and hundreds years of slavery and different things that have kept black folks down. I'm like, okay, that's fair enough, but where do you draw the line, right? I mean, we're still talking about a reality that affects us, right? Because you say, well, women are dying. That's the difference. Women are dying. When we're talking about men, we're talking about your feelings, but women are dying, being murdered by men. Okay, well, fair enough. I mean, men are murdered by women too, at a higher rate than you might think, but not quite as high as men are doing it, and I acknowledge that. But white folks are being disproportionately killed by black folks. It's like a 4-to-1. And 13% of the U.S. population is African American, yet they commit over half of all of the murders, about 70% of all of the robberies, home invasions. It goes up from there, okay? Why is this? Systemic poverty, cultural, whatever you want to argue, right? But it's unhelpful for me to say something racist, right? Because it's still a very small percentage of African Americans that are out here trifling, committing crimes. So it's not helpful for me to be discriminatory. You just have to take it for what it is and try to help each other build a better tomorrow. So when you say, I hate all men, and then you turn around and you say, because we don't know which men are safe, you want to help, keep other men accountable. Imagine if I said that. Imagine me saying that even just about women, saying, I've had negative experiences with all the women that I've met. So I don't know which women are not gold diggers. So you women need to go out there and prove me wrong. It's like you're insulting an entire gender and then asking for their help. Make it make sense. Is this a productive way to start a conversation? It really doesn't seem to be. So what's the point? What's the point of saying that? I mean, I understand you're frustrated because the media is showing these things, and there's recently been some high profile incidences that are very shocking, like the immigrant that set that woman on fire on the subway in New York City. Absolutely shocking and horrible. And then the recent grapes that happened on college campuses of women, they were just running or jogging. Again, this is stuff that happens all the time, and it's very, very shocking. Take in consideration also that the rate of murder, men are murdered far more often than women are murdered by other men, granted, but it's just to frame it that the world is a more unsafe place for men in general than it is for women, even though the media highlights violence against women more. And that's fine. And I know you'll say, yeah, but it's men committing it. Well, it's a poor consolation to the average man what gender or what race the perpetrator is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going out harming women. I'm not going out robbing people. I'm not going out stealing. So it doesn't matter to me what sex is. It's just a problem to me and to most of us, an issue that should be addressed and it should be resolved. Okay. So if you want to break it down into groups and talk about, okay, the Hispanics and the blacks and the immigrants and the Muslims and this, and somehow that's going to be helpful at resolving it, that's fine. But what's not helpful is just saying, I hate all black people, I hate all women, I hate all this. It's just really not helpful. I know it's a reaction to a perceived oppression or harassment, but it's just not helpful when you're turning around and asking help from that same gender. I mean, it's just not opening discord is what I'm saying. And it's very frustrating that people can't see that. And if you react negatively to someone saying, I hate all men, then it's like, well, then you're part of the problem, or the thing of, oh, well, we'd rather be there with the bear or whatever. And it's like, well, on a daily basis, you're meeting hundreds and hundreds of men, none of which want to harm you. If you met hundreds of bears per day, you wouldn't make it a week before kaput. You know what I mean? So these analogies, they're just inflammatory. They're meant to get a reaction out of you. So then your reaction can then be used against you. I try to reduce sometimes my screen time because these kind of things, they pop up constantly and they make me feel attacked. They really do. When I'm just a 40-year-old man at home trying to raise a family, I got a child and a wife. I don't really have any friends. I don't go out to bars. I don't go out, do nothing really. So what you're looking at me saying I hate men. I'm supporting a family. You're saying, well, you need to keep other men accountable. I'm like, what am I doing? Am I promoting violence or something? I don't have dudes. This thing like guys are not holding guys accountable. That's the last thought I want to leave you with. Mascusa, what are you talking about? I don't even remember the last time I've been in a situation where I see guys acting out. Are women under the impression that guys are just talking nonsense or acting out and we just let it slide? Because we're not. It really isn't something that we see. And I think that women think that amongst ourselves, we have much more sinister conversations than we really do. Anyway, I'm just trying to clear the air. I know as a woman, maybe you're frustrated. You want to say things, but I'm telling you, calling dudes incels at the drop of a hat and saying you hate all men and stuff like that, it's not helpful. But here's the thing. I really don't think that you want to be helpful. These kind of comments, they're meant to stir shit up. They're not really meant to help. And, that's my perception. And really, this explanation was also meant for women. It seems like it's so easy. If you have any disagreement with a woman or say something, you're automatically a misogynist. This is a way to silence men. You know what I heard? That suicides among men under 30 has risen this past year by 40%. 40%. That's figurati. It's an incel conversation just to talk about it almost, on places like Reddit and stuff. So I don't know. This is not something you'll hear on the news either, but you can look up that statistic. So I don't know, do with that information what you will. If you're out there fighting a good fight and you get frustrated because you hear people say, I hate men and stuff like that, just try not to take it personal. Try to be the bigger person. I know it's frustrating, but it's just the way it is right now. Try to reduce a little bit your screen time. Try to block people who push that negativity towards you because it really can affect you and it's not really the reality we live every day. Well, it is and it isn't. So you just got to block out that negativity. Surround yourself with positive people, positive affirmations, positive influences as much as you can. Because in the end, you're what matters the most. You got to look out for you and what's yours and your family, because nobody else is. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to me rant, as always. Happy New Year. It's coming up today. It's the last day of 2024. Hopefully, this coming year is going to be good. I got a good feeling about it. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.